So we're gonna pick up where we left off. Don't have to go into a whole lot to say what's going on with that. We've done really good at clearing Riverside. It's not cleared yet. We still have like the nicer, fancier part of town to go through. We've cleared most of like the west half of the school area. Not quite. So we're still building that up. But things are going pretty well. Oh, I moved the mic around a whole lot. I could crop it out, but like when I adjust my position, I will move the mic around. Like, and actually, it'd be kind of difficult for me to get. Yeah, I think the mic could be a problem because like when I lean forward and that kind of stuff, I usually have to move my mic around. Um, but like kind of on top of that, just because the camera's centering, I'd have to somehow shift it over to have me just in there and zoom in a lot more. And if I zoom in a lot more, then if I switch where I'm at in my seat. Hey, let's not start with that for the very first zombie, if you don't mind. Don't immediately jump scare me. Don't do that. Hey, Arrows, how's it going? And I'm actually going to do this right now, because I can. So I'm going to toss a shout-out over to Arrows. Because I have that power. Assuming Nightbot actually wants to, there you go, Nightbot. The mic should be even more visible. Like, I did debate mirroring the screen and, like, putting it all the way on the edge, but one, we usually have stuff... You can't see our mouses. But usually we have stuff down in this quadrant of the screen anyways. And then, like, this is me looking over at chat over this way. Versus, like, this is me looking at the game. So, when I look over at chat, it looks like I'm looking at what's happening here on the screen, which is kind of a lie, but Anyways, I didn't realize that we woke up at night, so what I'm going to do... So I'm going to fast forward time, because wandering in the dark during a storm is how you die. And also having a zombie just waiting outside your door in an area that's been mostly clear for a while, and starting you right there is all that. Sender Cookie says, the mic should be even more visible. And also saying, I need to reposition my camera behind my main monitor. Yeah. Oh yeah, and a second monitor can be immensely useful. Cool says, fun fact, I need to study for another test tomorrow. Yeah, I'm assuming just, let's see. Well, this is March. Oh, you're probably talking your midterm exams, I would guess. Oh, right, we had to head back. Because we don't have any more food. So we have to head back and resupply. Oh, right, and we're also not in the place I thought we were. We're not in the place we cleared a whole bunch. This is the place we just cleared. A lot of this makes more sense now. But yeah, so March definitely sounds like midterm, so about halfway through your course. But, yeah, no, they do, like, that is one of the things that when you have the teachers like, oh, hey, Growlcore, thank you for raid, give me 2 seconds, I'll get you a shout out. Playing some Satisfactory, already an excellent time. So how was your stream? And I did get to see the rough drafts for my my new emotes, so real excited to see those, get wrapped up and be able to use them. You built so many houses. Okay, that's interesting. I usually don't think of Satisfactory as building houses, but I tend to be one of those ones who make the large, ridiculous, sprawling factory that goes on forever. Or like it'll be a one giant vertical tower factory is the one that I probably got the farthest. I mean, mostly it's about building a factory. Like, you could absolutely build houses and all that. It's just not a thing I ever thought about doing. For me, it was always make factory bigger. But, I mean, it's a sandbox. Like, it's an open world. You can mod it, so sure, why not? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, usually what I ended up doing was making, like, a giant storage area that, like, I would have surplus of products dumped into boxes for if I ever needed them. And otherwise, all the rest would be just inline or offline or out-of-line storage. It's a little annoying that we have all these zombies out on the road. They're not supposed to do that. Make sure we actually listen to the radio in case anything important comes up. But yeah, so those who are just catching where we're at in this run, so this is at 16 times population. For Project Zomboid, that is the maximum zombie population you can have without mods. We do have the helicopter set to sometimes, which equates to about 2 to 3 helicopters per in-game month. And then on top of that, we have the zombies set to no respawns. Yes, you can drive over the zombies. If you drive over alive zombies, they'll damage your vehicle, and over time they'll ruin perfectly good cars. If you drive over dead zombies, they won't damage your vehicle, but they can cause you to, like, bounce, ramp, lose control, that kind of thing. So it is something you want to do with caution. But generally speaking, you don't want to run over zombies most of the time. It'll just ruin your car. And actually, honestly, running over zombies with your car is extremely dangerous. Because say, for example, I'm in a group of like 10, 20 zombies, I'm running them over, things are going fine, I blow my hood. The moment I blow the hood of the car, the next couple zombies you hit will absolutely trash the engine, which can cause your car to stall a whole lot, and eventually just not run at all. And as you can imagine, if you're in a horde of zombies and your car just is no longer functional, you can't get out, the zombies have swarmed your doors. You can't move anywhere. So basically, the car becomes your coffin. It's not that you can't hit zombies. Like, I would say we've probably killed something like 18, 20 zombies by car, which was not deliberate. It's just, you know, when it's rainy and it's dark and you're driving real fast and a zombie just happens to be standing in the exact middle of the road. You know, things happen. Alright, would you quit taking turns and just either come out here and fight or don't? But yeah, because we have no respawns turned on, there's a finite number of zombies in our world. Our initial estimate is about 900,000, of which we've killed just shy of 34,000. But that is based out of out-of-date math. That's from math before Louisville was released in multiplayer. So our best guesstimate, which is just based on gut check, is about 1.2 million. Yes, we have had 10 push-ups redeemed so far today. Which suddenly reminds me, I want to make 2 changes to that. Bear with me. Because we were talking about adding in different exercises. I'll do that later. We want to mix it up to have different exercises, so it's not just push-ups, so we'll have like sit-ups, that kind of thing, but not with separate redemption. Because my fear is if I make them separate redemptions, it'll be one of those things that, like, someone will redeem 10 push-ups, so I'll have to step away for a minute or two, knock those out. Then someone will redeem 10 sit-ups, and I'll have to step away for a minute or two, do that. That, you know, it could potentially get in this rotation where we basically don't play the game, we just fitness. And I mean, if I actually had good viewership just doing a fitness stream like that, I'm... okay, help me get swole with viewer retention, sure, but I don't imagine it'll work that way. I imagine people get tired of seeing the pause screen and going, is there a point of having a game open while you do this? Now for a game like City Skylines, where, you know, you can quote-unquote ant farm it, where you do some minor changes and then you let, like, I made a discussion when we were playing City Skylines last week. That's like one of the things I like about City Skylines, and actually is a good way of approaching the game, is make a small change in your city and let it sit for like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes before you start another change, kind of thing. If it's going to be something meaningful, if you're just like putting down trees to make it prettier or whatever, like that's fine. But like so far as like changing your traffic patterns or building new subdivisions or whatever, put it in place and give it a couple minutes to shake out to see what happens, what are the impacts of it. Because the exponential growth problem you can run into that game, where you just start building up, and not seeing kind of the consequences of your build-up, is one of the ways you get yourself in trouble, where suddenly your entire city is being crippled by traffic, and it's just because you kept building on a place that, had you built a neighborhood and waited, you'd see the traffic start bottlenecking, and you go, okay, I can't, like, this road is already overloaded, I can't expand on that. Gotcha. Yeah, that is one thing. So one thing I'll tell people is, there's some people who go, well, I need to buy the best mic, the best gear, I need to have a green screen, I need to, you know, have the best video card, I need to do all this. It's like, no. You need to have a situation that isn't terrible. Like, if your microphone is popping, or it's tinny, or you can't hear, it's like, that's a problem. But as long as your audio quality isn't bad, that's fine. Like, as things go better in your stream, maybe invest in better equipment. But the better, like, your stream will carry your stream more than just having an expensive mic. An expensive mic is not the important piece. Gotcha. Yep. So yeah, you'll need to adjust your volumes and all that. But, like, I'm trying to make it a point, and this is one thing that I've debated left and right, is I've debated a couple times of setting a day off to, like a day off each week to focus on one, you know, making sure I'm spending time with the wife and everything. But on top of that, like, that'll be the day that'll work on, like, stream improvement stuff, all of that. Because I stream too much to take the time to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, it is, when you're on a smaller stream, it is hard to get people to give you feedback, constructive or otherwise. Like, so you are kind of beholden to look back, watch your own stream, and go, what do I think about this? And even if you have a decent number watching, it's still good to every so often. I mean, obviously, like, I do 11-hour streams every day a week. I can't sit there and watch a whole stream because I would have no time to sleep. But, you know, peek in, listen for a couple of minutes, do that kind of stuff, say, how is the audio quality? Was it choppy? All that kind of stuff. Okay, I mean, you can turn down the volume on your game. Either in OBS, like, if you personally want to hear the game better but want to make it not as loud for your viewers, you can just change the equalizer in OBS. That kind of thing. But yeah, like, I would say it's more important to consider your presentation, like, what vibe you're doing, being deliberate on, like, you need to play games that are fun. That's the first. If you're not having fun with the game, it's going to be 100% obvious on your stream. And it's not going to be in a good way. But at the same time, you do need to be conscious about, okay, well, how is that game performing on Twitch? Not that it needs to be, like, huge audience, but if you're going, I want to get my stream off the ground and I'm playing a game that has 60 viewers, well, that's probably not going to go great. But it's like, if you're actually looking at growth, like, you have to be deliberate about it. It's not just I played the video game. Like, I make a lot of decisions with the stream with growth in mind. Stuff like, for example, the times I stream, that was a very deliberate choice that I stream so late. Because I know a lot of the US streamers don't stream that late. A lot of the EU streamers, it's too early for them. Like, it gets to be like noon European time and that kind of stuff. But most people stream in the evening, outside of like a handful of people are able to go truly full-time streaming. But almost everyone who streams on the side, it's an evening gig. Alright, need the car battery. Noon, middle of the day. So like you have 12 midnight, and then you've got 12 like lunchtime. Yep. No, but I was talking the end of my stream is the time I'm talking about. I wrap up stream about what would be like noon to 1 o'clock for parts of Europe. But it's like 4 a.m. my time. Like, that time slot was a deliberate choice because I know, one, it's underserved, so I can provide value. You know, fill in a gap that not many people fill in. I'll leave the pipes and all that there. I very deliberately choose to do the really long format. Just because it is very, like, Twitch, for better or worse, very much rewards you for going long format over short format, typically. Just because when people join your stream and they kind of just hang out and chill, like, they'll join and they'll just kind of be there still. If you're short format, it doesn't give them time to show up. So it is kind of a building momentum. Like, if you actually look at my viewership in the channel, like when I start my stream, it just gradually builds till about 3 a.m. give or take my time, at which point then it starts to wane, which makes sense because, again, by then almost no one, like, other than people who pulled third shifts, almost no one US is on. And for a lot of people in Europe, it's too early. Like, they're either at work or at school, that kind of thing. But yeah, as far as start time, like, that's less relevant. That's just to start building that momentum. So flamingo-wise, we're up to 8, 11, 13 flamingos. Lucky number 13. And a gnome. Oh, how is this doing? Yeah, so like, how long my stream goes is one decision I made very deliberately. The hours I stream, I chose to do very specifically. Correct. People at work can watch, but not everyone can. So as far as like total audience goes, like addressable audience, you have certain times that you'll have more addressable audience than others. So I'm both targeting hours that different audiences can make, as well as I'm also deliberately targeting times there's less likely to be others streaming, kind of thing. And there's overlap in, like, I do go and stream through the entire peak time of people being on as well. It's just that's not the very intentional part. That's just part of the long format part. Yep, for a lot of people that's an option. But if we take into consideration, like, all the people, you know, they're working, you know, their wait staff, their hospitality, you know, working in hospitals, all that kind of stuff, where they're having to bounce between patients and all that. How many katanas? We're up to 16, but if I'm not mistaken, don't I have another one on me? I'm pretty sure I have another one on me. There it is. 17 katanas. Oh, that one's graphics a little glitchy, but that's fine. But yeah, and then the chill vibe, like that's been deliberate for a couple of reasons. One, it's the style I wanted to present anyways, and then plus I am well aware of the sound of my voice and everything that a lot of people find it soothing. So that caters way more to a chill vibe than, you know, to something high intensity. I also know I have a skill set as a presenter and educator, so tying to that. I do hate that this bug still exists. Sometimes when you lay down floor, it's non-walkable. So like, I can't walk in this square. This square doesn't exist, even though I put down floor. And I've tried smashing it, pulling up and replacing it. I've tried rebuilding on top of it. I have tried everything I can think of to make them walkable. There's just some tiles sometimes won't allow you. I don't believe it'll let me. Yeah, I mean it says you can, but if I click on it, nothing happens. It's just a weird bug when you're placing floor, usually on water from what I've seen, but sometimes I've seen it not on water. It seems far more frequently on water. Alright, so what are we going to work on in the meantime? Because we ran back here to restock on food. We're supposed to have thick fog today, and apparently we have a nasty storm coming in a couple days, so that's inconvenient. I have an extra water bottle for somewhere. Let's get rid of that. Huh. That does make me think, I don't know about a piece of furniture. I mean, there's probably a piece of furniture that has this effect I'm just not aware of. But maybe if I put, like, a window there. Because windows will make tiles on either side of them walkable. So I do wonder if you put that there. Now granted, that still doesn't solve the fact that I don't want a window there. But yeah, it's annoying, it's weird. I don't know why it happens, but it does happen. But also, like what games I'm playing, I'm very deliberate about that. I won't play a game that's got basically no viewership on Twitch as a main game. Like a one-off, sure. But it is all stuff that you kind of have to like consider. Okay, so did I read the metalworking book? I think I did. We have not read the metalworking book. That's something we can do. Oh, right. I should have checked the electrical book while we were in Riverside. It's too late for that now. That's fine. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've taken a sledgehammer to those tiles and replaced it. I've replaced the tile. I've you know, placed it where there's like nothing else around it. Just some tiles have some weird problem with it. Alright, so we're looking for our advanced metalworking book. We're going to plow through that real fast. Because it sounds like we're going to have some bad weather here in a bit. Just going to check to see how far it is off. Because there is a chance I run back to Riverside, get another day or two into clearing before the bad weather shows up. But yeah. Let's see, we were looking for advanced metalworking, I thought. Wait, yeah, that'd be advanced metalworking. Do I seriously not have advanced metalworking? Well, that's garbage, so I'm missing advanced metalworking and advanced electrical. Well... because I'm not going to grind out stuff like that without the book. How are you doing on stuff again? You're fine. I'm thinking it's screw it, we go back to Riverside. We resupplied our food, which is the whole reason we had to drop back in the first place. Dropped off some stuff. Right, let's have the battery charger for the sports car. Hey, Rainbow Tavian, how's it going? And I am doing well. And I did remember to turn it on this time, right? Okay. Nice. That is a good feeling of when it's like I'm getting a proper break and everything, and I put up my auto reply email. Like, this is no longer, like, anyone who has issues going on, it's no longer a me problem until I get back. Ooh, yep. Finding generators right away at the beginning is always nice. Let's just grab a bunch of extras. We'll find more stuff soon. I should approach it like this, but I'm going to, because I want that battery to recharge, so I can take that back, put in the sports car. All that good stuff. Let's see, they're both sitting in the back of the truck, and I am not confident my base is secure yet. Yeah, that could be a problem. And if I have to, feel I could take them with me. Yep, that's a good plan. Like, this is the reason this is the other reason I should say, that I had returned, was that we were expecting bad weather. But I'm also sitting here going, you know, I want to keep the push going. We'll probably not kill too many zombies today with the fog, but we will work our way back out there. Because the skills I would want to work on, we don't have the books for, and I'm not going to work on a skill without the book. Yep, and I had no food. Color caching and push-ups, I'll go ahead and knock those out. Oh, I didn't grab myself extra drink. Luckily this one's full, so I got a while before I need a new drink. And we are driving slow, and that's because we're dealing with thick fog, so our visibility's crap. Have I got any plain green shirts? I do not. I do know about the fun that is making yourself into a floating head kind of thing. The fog is in fact thick. No, I don't have a plain green mask either. I'm quite aware of the green screen shenanigans you can get into, though. Ghost says, I have a mild stomachache that forbids me to focus, and 2 cans of beer did not help. No, generally. Green tint and spectacle, that'd be amazing. No, actually, like, I don't have much that's green now I think about. Like, I might have something that's like super dark green, but that wouldn't work as well. Like, it wouldn't be the right shade green. I'd have to go out of my way to get stuff the right green. Yeah, generally if you have an upset stomach, alcohol is not the right answer. Just like, if you have an upset stomach, spicy food, fish, that kind of stuff is also not the right answer. Upset stomach's good times to, like, drink water, eat stuff that's fairly bland. You know, like plain rice. Mashed potatoes without, like, any ridiculous stuff going on. Just, you know, basically whatever you can to chill the stomach. Go says, I am a student. My diet is only beer. Beer is expensive. Well, I mean, beer can be expensive. When I was real short on money during college, I didn't exactly do a whole lot of drinking because, you know, alcohol is expensive. Think I could give a green dish towel. I've driven off the road. Think you give a green dish towel and hang it in front of your mic? I mean, I don't have the right green. If that is that's the concern, if we want me to like put something so my mic isn't visible, like that would be something we can do. I do move the mic around though as I stream, that sometimes it is partially in front of my face. It's super hard to see this road. Why did I do this? Because I've had people say, like, positive and negative things about seeing the mic. Like, I could move it out of frame and all that, but then the audio quality suffer. Like, usually the mic I actually have it even closer to my face. Gotcha, I can understand how it goes. I'm trying to think if I have anything handy that'd be close to the right color that I could put it on there to have it screened out. I don't think I have anything that's like a lime green or a light green though. I do find it interesting that it is like, oh, like you should cover that up, and I'm like, huh. When people don't do the green screen at all, like, and they have the entire boom arm and everything in the screen, like no one says anything, but just because, you know, the green screen, it does, I mean, it makes it stand out more, I get it. Alright. Where's my turn? Shouldn't be driving around in this dark. Oh, you're talking about beer. I was like, what? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We have like we have super cheap beers you can get here in the U.S., but like generally those beers are so terrible. The super duper cheap ones, it's like beer flavored water. Look, zombies, we have cleared this area, and I've driven past here going 50 so many times and seen nothing. I don't know where you're all coming from, but stop it. It does. It's one of the effects of all that carbonation and everything. Keep looking over, and to get the microphone out of frame, I'd have to like cut off over where my arm is, which would be a problem. So I can't just really crop it out. Then like if I really shifted my seat at all, like suddenly just a chunk of my head would disappear in a weird pattern. Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, I know it is covering a little bit of the game scene and all that. Like, there's a little spot, like, right here that's getting covered up. But, yeah. But, like, the arm showing up a little bit more or less, that's probably going to happen. Because, like I said, I do shift around in my seat sometimes. Sometimes I'll have to, like, adjust the mic relative to myself and all that. And, yeah. Hey, Rip and Lotus. Yeah, this is actually our third day, I believe, doing it. I really wish this fog would go away so I could actually see where I'm driving. And while in Project Zomboid, turning on your headlights in the fog is fine, in real life, don't do that. It makes it even harder to see. Because all that fog reflects your headlights and all you see is, you know, fog. Especially if you high beam it. Yeah, I've actually had that well before I started streaming. Like, I technically have to, because I had... My other room is where my gaming computer was set up, and then the room I'm in right now was my my remote office for my job. But since I went on sabbatical, like, this room didn't really serve a purpose. The chair in the other room is the better one in my opinion, but it's also getting pretty worn out and probably needs to be replaced. Like, it's one of those ones that, like, a bunch of the orange is, like, peeled off and all that. But they're different kinds of chairs. Like, this chair is, like, a better shape for my body and everything, but it has no padding. Like, yesterday, towards the end of the stream, I was getting pretty uncomfortable, so I was, like, shifting around kind of thing. Alright, so fog's cleared up so we can finally pick up the pace a little. It's like yesterday, like, towards the end of the stream, we were like, posture check. I'm like, no, the chair's, like, legitimately uncomfortable right now, so I'm gonna adjust. Like, if you're in good posture and very uncomfortable, then you still need to adjust, because that's your body saying things aren't what they ought to be. Nice, Star Strider. Alright. What if I am always uncomfy? Then you probably have some adjustments to make, unless you know you're someone dealing with like a chronic problem, like chronic pain type situation that, you know, just fixing a chair isn't going to be enough. You notice we looked out the side of the car before I got out, because I noticed tree cover there, so a zombie could very easily have popped out, been a problem. Which Just always gotta be careful. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've always kept my wallet in my front pocket. And I always go out of my way to have a very small wallet. Keeps me from keeping crap I don't need in it. Because definitely used to have that problem where you'd have your wallet be like, well, I have all my insurance stuff, my driver's license, and a bunch of membership cards to crap, and all that kind of nonsense. Alright, cola caching and push-ups. Let me just... I do not feel safe because I hear zombies that way, and I can't see them at all. So I'm just going to deal with the zombies first. And then I'll get those push-ups anyway. And I also need to adjust my drink because I did not get anything through that straw. Why are you all coming out of the woods now? We've done this route so many times. Where are you coming from? Just trying to get back into light where I can see. That was a risky swing there. Luckily we didn't get punished for it. Because we have enough nibble we can get away with stuff we shouldn't be able to. Yeah, so there's a lot of mistakes I've made. I should not have been driving in the thick fog. I should not have been driving in a situation where we're going to be out here driving around at night. Now, why there's so many zombies here all of a sudden, that I don't really know. Because like I said, we've done this route a number of times, and usually we always see like 1 or 2 zombies looming about. But guess there's a migration or something. Alright, so I owe some push-ups. Let me go ahead and knock those out and I'll be right back. Rainbow Tanner saying, yeah, I have a nice gaming chair and it's helped a lot with my back and pain. Yup. Yeah, I also need to do more moving of furniture around in my area as well. I mentioned it before, but like this was my office and everything. And while I did have it set up where I could, you know, do professional recordings and all that, it's those things that like I'd only do it once every couple months. You get to the point of doing the professional recording, barring some rare exceptions. So just kind of set it up, you know, do your 2-3 hours of recording or whatever it takes to get your takes right, rinse and repeat. Versus with streaming, I need to keep it set up pretty much always. So I got to rearrange the furniture in here and get more stuff out. I've been working on that like little by little each day. Just because moving everything is a whole deal. I do have to figure it out, because like I said, this green screen is just a little bit behind me, kind of bisects the room, not quite in half. Like I have a little bit more of the room on this side than on the other side. When I got like a beanbag chair and everything that was here, partly if someone wanted to sit in here, but more so is actually for acoustic dampening. If you ever have too much echo in your streams, fabric is your friend. You know, if you put fabric up on your walls, have stuff like futons, couches, anything that's got some fabric to it, that all helps with echo. That's the reason why when you go into like a new house and it doesn't have furniture yet, you can like, you know, do like the whole echo in the room and just have it repeat. That's because it doesn't have that fabric to draw all that sound out to keep it from bouncing off your walls. Which is like one of the mistakes I see a lot of people who don't know about acoustic treatment will do, is they'll put on like the wall behind their computer or their microphone or whatever. They'll put a bunch of acoustic dampening on that side. You want it back here and on the sides. And the reason for that is that wall, your microphone has one side it hears in from. This is assuming you have like an actual microphone, not like a headset mic or I forget what the things are called, like the omnidirectional lapel mics. But you have like an actual microphone, there's a pattern where it's listening from this side only. Like I can switch it to hear from all sides, but I have it set to this side only because that's the way it's supposed to be. So if I have sound hit that wall and bounce back, it's hitting the wrong side of the microphone for it to be heard. so it won't convey in the microphone at a meaningful level. But without fabric behind me, it bounces off that wall, hits the wall behind me, then bounces and gets heard on the microphone. So if I have acoustic panels behind me, when it bounces back there, it dampens it, we get less echo coming this way, not enough for the microphone to pick up. But almost any nice microphone will have it where you can adjust the pattern to either be just one side, opposite sides, or the whole 360. Or you'll have people do the thing where they'll point the microphone, like point this end of the microphone at their face. Very few microphones work in that manner. There are some that do, but it's not a microphone you're going to just randomly buy without intentionally buying that kind of equipment. Oh yeah. And like if you're streaming, as I mentioned before, you don't need some $200-300 or more microphone and to have like all the latest kit or like, you know, some DSLR or any of that garbage. It's as long as you have stuff that isn't bad. Like if your microphone is tinny and poppy and, you know, picks up every bit of background noise, yeah, that's a problem. Like that is something you will have to fix. But even if it's not like the crispest, cleanest audio quality, if you can be heard clearly and the quality isn't absolute crap, that's fine. Your stream will have to carry your stream. The microphone is not going to carry your stream. And I thought I saw another one. Yeah. Let's get them before we drive out there, because there's so much tree cover here. It's really hard to get around. And I'll catch up with chat here in a minute. Alright, so there's a group down here. Go ahead and aggro them. All of them. Come on. This is the place I want to sleep. I see there's another one here, and there was a couple over here. There's also one leaning on the front door, or not the front door, like the wall next to the front door of the place I was intending on sleeping. Oh, I see. So it's a group with a large backpack rolled in. That's what I was thinking. I was like, why is there just this giant group here? It was like a legitimate horde. Alright, let me catch up. So, let's see. Rainbow Activity says, I would like to get a proper external mic sometime, but monies? Yeah, and I get that. Headphone mics usually are pretty bad. There are a few exceptions, but again, as long as it's not too terrible, it's okay. The built-in next level tabletop says, the built-in noise gate and compressor in OBS isn't half bad too. Yeah, there's some stuff. You have to be careful with some of those things. For example, I've seen people who turn up their noise compression or the noise gate way too much, and you either get what's known as clipping, which is when you start to like talk a little bit softer than you normally do, the noise gate's just like, oh, clearly this person's not talking, get rid of it. Like, you know, you've made it too sensitive on the quiet side or too sensitive on the loud side. So you do have to be careful about that. Excellent. Yeah, and that's actually a thing I used to do for when I was doing a lot of GTRP. The server we were on at when I first joined had what we called soft RP days. And so the idea is you had what was known as hard RP, which is when you're actually like you're staying in character, it's considered canon, whatever you're doing is the story of the city. That kind of thing. And then soft RP was effectively like testing days. So I would usually get on for soft RP, and like one, I'd goof off with our friends. Like that's just one thing you'd do. You know, hard RP can get kind of stressful sometimes, get kind of intense, and it's sometimes fun just be like, you know what, we're gonna go chuck bikes off the top of Chiliad because why not? But one of the things I do on soft RP days is I'd sit there and say, hey, anyone who needs someone to like do an audio check for them, let me know.